Joining us now on a Worldwide Exchange exclusive with more is Maurice Regan. He is the founder and CEO of JT Magen, a leading national construction company that is responsible for projects you know, like Nordstrom's new New York City HQ, Microsoft Fifth Avenue flagship, and the current major renovation underway at 1 Wall Street. Maurice, it's great to have you on CNBC this morning. Thanks for joining us. How quickly do you think getting back to work is going to mean getting fully back to work? Is it going to be like the movie theaters, you know, at 25% capacity, or can you really hit the ground running?
Brian, good morning. I think what we're forecasting is about a 2-week ramp up. You know, a lot of the workers now have to get acclimatized to the new rules and regulations from the CDC and the state and the city. So, you know, we have been lucky that, you know, we already had a little bit of a pre-ramp up in that some of the projects were deemed essential. So we probably had about 1,500 to 2,000 workers ramped up during the 12-week shutdown. So I think what we're gauging is fully ramped up probably within a 2-week period from yesterday's go-live date.
Okay. Does that mean masks for your workers, Maurice?
Masks, cleaning stations. You know, the big restriction on the workers now is really the vertical transportation in the building, the elevators, where once 20 people could get in an elevator. You know, with the social distancing rules now, we're going to see, you know, restrictions on that. So it means probably a longer day for us on site, starting jobs earlier, finishing later, and not having too many people in close proximity in the elevators.
Yeah, I mean, your work, your guys on the ground, it is hot, it is hard, it is heavy lifting. Are masks going to work? I mean, it's a breath constrictor, Maurice, and I worry about, you know, somebody moving around all day, and, you know, as it gets warmer and more humid, what is the mask toll on them?
I think, Brian, that's something that is going to have to just play itself out. It's a necessity. It's you know, it's really required for the health and safety of the workers. I think some people probably will have issues with it, and you know, some of our projects are indoors. They have air conditioning, so you know, look, we're going to do it. It's going to be a trial and error basis. But you are correct. I think that you know, in the 100-degree days in New York City in the summer, it's definitely going to be something that we should take into consideration. We are going into uncharted territory here, and I think it's in some ways it's a new game. It's day by day.
What about your customers and some of these big projects, Maurice? Is it all systems go for some of these buildings that are a quarter or half built? Are you having people put off work? Is it a wait and see, or is it still pretty much your book of business is going to go forward as it was pre-lockdowns?
Well, you know, we had a very, you know, just with the business we run, we had a very large book of business. And at the moment, which I'm glad to say, we've had no projects canceled. All systems are go. We've had 2 projects that have been put on hold or semi-hold, where clients are rethinking their layout. So they were very early stages of the project. So, you know, we believe that at the moment, every project is going ahead. All these jobs, you know, clients have been planning for years. And, you know, look, I think, again, the 12-week shutdown has been a shock to everybody's system. But hopefully that, you know, we get through this and all the new protocols in place are going to make the work environment a way safer.
Are people more, and this may be a really dumb question, so I apologize, but there's been 2 schools of thought. There's been, this is going to change the workplace and building forever. I'm always worried when I hear the words forever and never and always. And then there's other people I've heard that have said at some point the virus will run its course, whether a vaccine or just through nature, and in a year or 2, you know, it will be gone, as the other 3 pandemics we've had in the last 100 years have done. Are people planning 5 years out to make dramatic changes to the way that we interact with our environment? Or is it more of, let's just get through this now and we'll sort of continue what we had been doing in the next 5, 10, 50 years?
I think both our clients and a lot of the, you know, major architectural firms, everybody's looking at every possible scenario. You know, over the last 10 years, the emphasis has been on dense packing, workstations, you know, saving space, reducing the footprint that people use, amenity spaces where everybody interacts because of creative thinking. So all those things have been turned upside down on their head. And now people are looking at more people working from home, you know, less use of conference rooms and space. I think it's very early. People are throwing around the ideas. I don't know if it's too early to say that everything's going to change forever, but I think there's going to be a lot of lessons learned from this.
Yeah, I've talked to people, most of them, on the phone off the record, that have said, I don't want to make dramatic changes for 5 years out, because I think in 5 years, excuse me, we're going to know a lot more about this.
Well, I think as the doctors and medical people, experts and scientists learn more about this virus, and hopefully there is a vaccine that could be right. It could be, in a year or 2 years' time, a thing of the past. I think that the work environment in New York was, look, New York is a very unique place, and the work environments that were created by our clients and architects were very, interactive for their staff and for creative thinking and, efficient workplace. Now, I guess everybody's just holding back a little bit and rethinking that. It's something that a light switch was flicked, and now everybody has to just stop and pause. So, but it is, you can't turn it upside down. You can't change all the existing space that's there. So I guess if we make it safer with proper work practices, and I guess it will evolve like we always do in New York. We always come back stronger.